Hello! Welcome to Alex's Ambrosia, the newest and best cooking show in all of York, Nebraska. I'll be your host today, Alex, and as you can tell, I'm a domestic diva. There are a lot of things that make me who I am, and cooking is one of those things. Every time I get into the kitchen, I'm able to express my thoughts and feelings with a delicious outcome at the end. Most of my life has been spent in the kitchen through my childhood, making anything from eggplant parmesan to chocolate cake. Some of our creations turn out to be super delicious and others not so much. So, let's get started with making one of my favorite recipes, chocolate cake with a dash of my life story. This chocolate cake recipe has been in my family for a while. This recipe has also been made a lot of times throughout my whole life. Birthdays, family gets-togethers, mom's sweet tooth is acting up, you name it and we've had a cake for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't call us the Sad-Offs. So, let's get started with making our delicious creation of chocolate cake. Today's recipe is gonna call for a little bit of wonder, loyalty, hard work, organization, focus, charisma, empathy, and laughter, but most importantly, patience. So, let's get into making our dish. We're first gonna start with our 3/4 of a cup of Wonder. So you're gonna pour it into your, if it spills over, that's okay. We make mistakes in life all the time. So you're gonna do 3/4 of a cup of Wonder and then 3/4 of a cup of Loyalty. My friends have reminders of my loyalty all the time. I'm always thinking of new ways to cheer up their days, whether it be a box full of yellow things with the title of A Box Full of Sunshines, or a pair of socks with a note that says, "You rocked my socks off today." I'm always thinking of creative ways to help boost my friends through my loyalty. It has become like a sport for me to find that new creative little thing that'll bring that piece of joy to my friends' lives. So after we put in our Wonder and our Loyalty, we're gonna put in an egg of hard work, an egg of focus, an egg of organization, and an egg of charisma. These are 4 things that are very important in my life and have gotten me as far as I've gotten right now and will help me through my college life and my career someday. So let's get these bad boys in there and then we'll get going. Next, we're gonna put in a teaspoon of sassiness because Alex wouldn't be Alex without a little bit of sassiness. Doesn't look quite right. Better jump the whole bottle in. Next, we're gonna put in our empathy and compassion. But we gotta make sure it's gluten-free because sister's got some allergies. I don't know how to be anything but compassionate. I care about others even when it comes to my own detriment. A big part of my life motto is that there are a lot of nice people around, but if you don't see one, which is in most cases, then be a nice person. I don't know who wrote this, but it struck right in my chest, and I knew it was something I was gonna bring with me for the rest of my life. Looks like we're gonna need some scissors for this one. Or a little sharp thing, just to get that bad boy opened. When I saw this freshman year, I knew it was something I was gonna carry out for the rest of my life. All right, we're finally to the last ingredient of this whole process, and that is a box of laughter. I wouldn't be myself without laughter. I know that people can hear me down the hallways with my loud chuckle. Sometimes it's fake or out of sympathy or compassion for my friends. Camden, when he tells me a terrible pun, I give him a nice little chuckle. But the best parts of my day are when I get to laugh and enjoy the presence of my friends. And I wouldn't give that up for anything. Alright, so now that we have all of our ingredients in the bowl, the most important and secret part of this whole operation is beating our batter for 8 minutes. If it's any more than 8 minutes or any less, your cake will just simply not be as tasty. All right, let's start beating our batter. So we're gonna secure our bowl in there, just like you want your secure relationships in your life. And we're gonna set our timer for 8 minutes, lock it, and start. Sometimes you have to hold in the stuff because there's just a lot to me. People come to me with conflicts with parents, friends, or even teachers for a willing ear or some advice or suggestions. Sometimes they reach their own conclusions by working it out, and other times we work through the most comfortable solution for them to follow through with. This is probably the reason that I've been labeled the mom of every friend group I've ever been in, but I wouldn't give that role up for anything. I love it when people come to me with their problems and we can just talk, because it makes me feel like we have a deeper connection and I know that I can trust them. Ah! There's the timer! Exactly 8 minutes. Alright, now that our cake batter looks nice and creamy, we need to non-stick spray our pan. Just like non-stick spray, none of the negatives stay on my back either. So we're gonna coat that baby nice and good. And then we're gonna put everything that makes me me into the pan. You know, I used to always want to have a scraping contest with my grandma, but I came to the conclusion that I was never gonna win, because if this was her, this pan would be clean. Obviously, we want to get as much out of this, because we wouldn't want to waste such a perfect personality. So once you've got your bowl good and scraped, we're gonna stick this cake in the oven. So I know if your cake looks a little rough in the pan, it'll be alright. Cooking fixes everything. So let's stick this bad boy in the oven. Now that we've got 35 minutes to kill, let me tell you about the people who made me who I am. I compare my parents to an oven all the time, because without them, I wouldn't be a delicious snack. My parents have had such a huge impact on me and shaped me into a person that I'm proud to say who I am. Now, they gave me the basics, and I've worked myself up to be someone who is known as hardworking, compassionate, loyal, independent, and all of these wonderful qualities. Because I want to be known as a good person. I want to know that I've made an impact on someone's life. And you know where that all starts? The oven. Now that looks like one pretty tasty cake, but it's missing something. Frosting. Now no cake is complete without its frosting, just like no Alex is complete without her positivity. So let's get started in making our frosting. Our frosting represents all of my positivity because it makes up such a huge part of who I am. I go into a positive outlook every morning. I try to make the best of every situation, even though I've been through some crappy ones. Positivity is my motivator. It helps me get up in the morning. It helps me get my assignments done. It helps me to see the best in people and see that I can be a better person every day. My goal in life is to make someone feel that positivity at least once a day. So, if you're blessed by my presence, hopefully you have a good encounter. So let's set this a boil, and then we'll start adding the good stuff. Now that we're we're getting a pretty good boil going. You should add a little bit of peanut butter because everyone who's this positive might be a little bit nuts. We'll add our peanut butter, another little teaspoon of sassiness. Stir that up, make sure it's all mixed in, and then we'll add our marshmallows and chocolate chips. Now that our frosting is looking yummy, it's ready to go on our cake. But just like frosting, my positivity is something they don't want to leave in the pan. Now we're gonna frost this bad boy. Alright, and if you have a little extra positivity in your pan, just plop that bad boy right in the middle, because you can truly never have too much positivity. Now take a look at our beautifully made cake. We share a striking resemblance, don't we? Now that we've made this beautiful cake, let's cut in. So, the next time you see your Alex, make sure to give her a little extra love and enjoy her presence a little more. Thank you for watching on today's Alex's Ambrosia. Hopefully we'll come back next week with a new recipe and another smile.